Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Derek Chisora came through and he clipped Kubrat Pulev, man, in a very, very rough, very entertaining fight. So if you didn't see it, I'll go ahead and tell you, right? I'm glad Chisora won. At the end, it was really emotional when they were announcing the winner on the scorecards because you almost felt like, man, they weren't going to give Chisora the win. But when they called his name out as the victor in a split decision win over Kubrat Pulev, man, I was happy for him. And he had his daughters in the ring, and you can see that just means one more payday, okay, for Chisora, an even bigger payday against a bigger name. But hold on, let me turn this fan off. But let's be real now, okay? I think Chisora, he did enough to win the fight. He was on the ropes quite a bit in the fight, but he was fighting off the ropes very effectively. He was catching Pulev with some hard shots. But the thing is with Chisora, it looked like after the second round he was gassed out, but that's just his style, man. He sometimes looks a little clumsy, looks a little off balance, looks like he has nothing left. And then out of nowhere, he'll just explode. Explode with these big, hard shots. And he was hurting Pulev. Now, Pulev did catch Derek Chisora very clean around the middle of the fight with cut like a 45. It's like a hook uppercut. And he caught him because Chisora was bending down low. And Chisora was wobbled badly. But he came back firing, man. And hats off to Derek Chisora. He has greatly improved. Since probably with the last 4 or 5 years, he's not the same fighter. Ever since he hooked up with David Haye, I know they're not together anymore, Derek Chisora has made great strides to become a better boxer, and it's showing. So now he earns himself a huge payday, and they're shooting for Deontay Wilder. So we'll see if that plays out. But a little bit of home cooking, in my opinion, though. But the referee is trying to be fair, but he got involved in that fight a whole lot. Now, he wasn't getting involved when Chisora was hurt or anything like that. He was just involved, okay? But there was some hitting behind the head. Chisora, Pulev was doing it too. Referee like he was going to take a point from Pulev at one point in the fight, and I said, oh, if he does that, all hell would have broke loose, because if he was going to take a point from somebody for hitting behind the head, he should take it from both fighters. But, it's just one of those kind of fights. But the referee didn't do it, and I'm glad he didn't. But there was a lot of headbutting going on. Kubrat Pulev suffered cuts over both of his eyes, and that's because Chisora was coming in with that head, man. And I'm not saying Chisora's fighting dirty. He's just physical. That's how he spars. That's how he trains. That's his style, kind of Joe Frazier-like style, And you can see Pulev didn't complain, but he didn't stay for an in-ring interview either, post-fight interview. He stayed there for a little bit, and then I guess they were taking too long, and then he exited the ring. But I'm sure when he does his post-fight interview and he talks, he's going to have a hard time giving Derek Chisora credit for that win. I can see him talking about how he feels that Derek was allowed to fight dirty. He wasn't intentionally trying to do anything dirty. He's just super physical, man. And as a result, that can make for a very ugly fight. And Pulev was trying to fight from a distance, trying to use that whole, Bulgarian boxing style. And he had moments where he looked very effective. But Chisora had, although he was bending at the waist and dipping down, Chisora had really good head movement. He made it very hard for Kubrat Pulev to hit him. So that's one thing I noticed. And he was able to do that the duration of the fight. So going forward now with Derek Chisora, I'm not sure, man. He gets the win because Eddie Hearn was going to drop him. I don't know if you guys are paying attention. Eddie Hearn, he was going to drop him. He was saying he has to win. And when Chisora was trying to joke about, I don't have to win, I still keep getting paid, there's people who want to see me fight, Eddie Hearn was saying, and he wasn't even joking. He was like, well, you have to win. So I'm glad Derek Chisora got another win. Now Derek Chisora is telling Eddie Hearn he wants AJ money, Conor Ben money. He doesn't want to. He no longer wants to eat fish and chips. He wants the caviar. And Eddie Hearn was just kind of laughing him off because in order to get Derek Chisora a $20, $30 million payday, which I just don't see it, he'd have to fight the likes of like a Deontay Wilder or somebody, maybe in Saudi Arabia. And I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure that would work out. You know, how do you go and organize like a $20, $30 million payday for Derek Chisora? I get it, they're heavyweights, but he'd need the right dancing partner. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out what the next move is for him. I think that would be a good fight for Deontay Wilder. We know Deontay Wilder will win. I personally think Deontay Wilder should return, clip Chisora, clip Dylan White. That's like a little quick $100 million. And then go on out there. By that time, Fury, AJ, Usyk would have figured out what the hell's going on, fought a couple times, and then Deontay can go right into that fight. That's what I think, man. But yeah, who am I? But some home cooking in the sense that the referee, I think if anywhere else, I think they would have probably intervened a bit more with just how physical the fight was. But at the same time, that's what you want. Let them fight, you know. And the referee has a job to do. I always say, make the referee do his job. And he let Chisora get away with his fight. He didn't force them into a boxing match. He let them scrap. And I'm glad he did. But again, he a little bit too much presence in the ring for me. Coming out at the beginning of rounds, wanting to talk to those guys for 15 seconds. And sometimes, you know, it's maybe necessary to talk to them, but you're watching a lot of other boxing matches. While the guys are fighting, the referee's giving instruction. The referee's saying things to them. This referee in particular was stopping the fight and having conversations, which is nothing wrong with that, but I just think Derek Chisora benefited more than Pulev with the referee they had in the ring tonight. In Bulgaria, maybe Pulev gets Pulev gets the win. No doubt about that. You know, we just got to be real. But, you know, there in the UK, it was a close fight. You got to give the nod to Derek Chisora. And he earned it. He didn't sit back and just allow lulls in the rounds. No, Derek Chisora, just when you think like, he may be getting in trouble, he just come out and explode. And he was catching Pulev. That's the thing. If he was throwing wild shots and missing like he normally does in fights, it would have made his situation worse. It would have exacerbated this whole thing with him having to win, but really losing his right to complain. No, every time he let shots go, for the most part, he was landing. And I mean, it was like shots out of nowhere, man. And he was catching Pulev clean. So Derek Chisora, he earned that win, in my opinion, man. But I think it was allowed to be a little rougher than what Pulev wanted. But a good fight, man. So Derek Chisora is going to be returning probably this year. He didn't take a lot of damage in the fight, which is good. But he did get touched up like he always does. But it wasn't that bad. But if he's going to come out and looking to fight Deontay Wilder, boy, man, he better cash out. And he better get that $20 million, because Derek Chisora, and no disrespect to him or any of you guys who are fans of his, he doesn't belong in there with Deontay Wilder. Derek Chisora should clip Daniel Dubois. That should be the fight to make. Go and clip Dubois. Get after some of these other guys. But if you're going for the money, you're going for the big fish, go after Deontay Wilder. Try to get that fight. I can't see why they wouldn't make it. And it is what it is. So that being said, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Appreciate your support. Shout out to the veteran Derek Chisora. Still hanging in there. This man has more lives than a cat, doesn't he? We'll see what he does next. Eddie Hearn's got to show him the money. Hey, you guys keep safe, and as always, I'm in the breeze.